Being entirely honest with oneself is a good exercise.
Most people do not really want freedom, because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibility. Unexpressed emotions will never die. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways. We are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love. Where does a thought go when it's forgotten? He that has eyes to see and ears to hear may convince himself that no mortal can keep a secret. If his lips are silent, he chatters with his fingertips, betrayal oozes out of him at every pore. A woman should soften but not weaken a man. Everywhere I go I find a poet has been there before me. In the depths of my heart, I can't help being convinced that my dear fellow men, with a few exceptions, are worthless. Words have a magical power. They can bring either the greatest happiness or deepest despair. They can transfer knowledge from teacher to student. Words enable the orator to sway his audience and dictate its decisions. Words are capable of arousing the strongest emotions and prompting all men's actions. It is that we are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love, never so helplessly unhappy as when we have lost our loved object or its love. Beauty has no obvious use, nor is there any clear cultural necessity for it. Yet civilization could not do without it. Men are more moral than they think and far more immoral than they can imagine. The interpretation of dreams is the royal road to a knowledge of the unconscious activities of the mind. Poets are masters of us ordinary men, in knowledge of the mind, because they drink at streams which we have not yet made accessible to science. Instinctive love toward an object demands a mastery to obtain it, and if a person feels they can't control the object or feel threatened by it, they act negatively toward it. I never want to belong to any club that would have someone like me as a member. The unconscious of one human being can react upon that of another without passing through the conscious. Suffering comes from three quarters: from our own body, which is destined to decay and dissolution, and cannot even dispense with anxiety and pain as danger signals; from the outer world, which can rage against us with the most powerful and pitiless forces of destruction; and finally from our relations with other men. With words one man can make another blessed, or drive him to despair. Woman, what does she want? Trying to be completely sincere with yourself is a good exercise. If one of us should die, then I shall move to Paris.